Episode of Assassination Classroom just soloed the manga chapters that it adapted. This episode was by far, I think, one of the best episodes of Assassination Classroom to date. Anime onlys, you right now, if you did not read the manga, I gotta say right now, you got a very good end of the deal. I'm just gonna say that, because when it came to Koro-sensei's escape scene, the emotions in that was fucking crazy. Like, when you heard the music in the background, and when he talks about how he'll make himself weak and he'll change his appearance, and the way he designed his outer appearance, it was just so emotional. Oh my god, this episode was incredible. It was a freaking incredible episode of Assassination Classroom. I'm just left stunned right now at how good this episode was in terms of adaptation, to how much better it was compared to the manga, and on top of that, the soundtrack that was just so beautiful. Oh my god. And then don't even get me started on the uncensored violence in this episode, which went way past my expectations of the anime. So, oh my god. So, to take note of something that many are probably going to be asking right now when it comes to anime onlys, I'm not going to spoil you, but I will say this. I'm going to clarify a couple of things. You will not be disappointed, I think, with the route that Assassination Classroom takes. I'm just going to say right now. I'm not going to clarify exactly what I completely mean with that. I'm just saying right now, as you all know, with the way the ending of this episode was done after finding out the backstory of Koro-sensei, and how Koro-sensei now is destined to die because he will explode and destroy the entire planet. Not because he wants to destroy the planet, but because his body, his, cell cycle exceeds its limit, and he will explode, and that is why he needs to be killed. And if he's not, pretty much he blows up the entire Earth, not because he wants to. And this changes the entire endgame in a way. It kind of makes it to where, holy shit, so is there a way to save Koro-sensei? Which that right there goes against what we've known since the very beginning of the series, which is one of the issues I had with the manga when I first got to this point of the series. I was like, wait a minute, so you're telling me since the beginning, this, goal, this endgame that we've been talked about, since the very beginning, we've all talked about, for instance, kill Koro-sensei. Koro-sensei needs to die. He needs to die in 1 year's time or he'll blow up the entire planet. It's like this entire part of the series flips it on its head and you're like, holy shit. So now Koro-sensei, he doesn't really technically want to blow up the Earth. The Earth is going to blow up thanks to his body being experimented on. And on top of that, now with the students finding out about this, does that mean that they're going to be willing to kill someone that really didn't want to blow up the Earth to begin with? I mean, that's the main thing right here. And also, how he changed himself along the road, of how he became the person he is today, thanks to the trial and error he went through in the past. And that's kind of what this brings up right now. Can Koro-sensei be saved? Instead of killing Koro-sensei, can Koro-sensei be saved? That is the question. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm just saying that's where the route of the series is currently taking. Now, one thing I will say, though, the violence, oh my god, I cannot believe how much violence was in this episode, and it's so eerie when you actually take a moment to realize that the voice actor we've heard from Koro-sensei since the beginning of the series, the first season, first episode, this voice actor that's always bubbly and all that, acting like Koro-sensei, he always seems very kind and gentle. But then, in this episode, you see another side of Koro-sensei that we've never really seen. A violent side. A side that was scary. When he murdered all those people in the hallway, that was a scary side of Koro-sensei we never saw. And then hearing the voice on top of that while he was laughing, it was eerie. And I love how the anime studio, the production team, worked on that and made that so jarring for so many, because you're like, holy shit, this voice actor, this character we've known since the beginning that's always seemed to be kind and teach his students, is now pretty much fucking evil. He's murdering people, stabbing people in the eyes, ripping them apart and shit, flicking sand at them and kicking their ass. It's pretty damn scary stuff. And so, the way that was done, that goes back to the point I said earlier, way better than the manga. Leaps and bounds better. And on top of that, though, oh, the fucking soundtrack. The soundtrack, with the lyrics when he escapes, I got emotional with that when I heard that. Like, I really got fucking emotional. So this goes back to the last season's opening. Remember how I talked about last season's opening, how it made me very emotional? It retains to this flashback arc. That opening song pretty much kind of talks about this arc right here going on, and that just concluded. So now you see why it was kind of emotional, because when you see how Koro-sensei is just, flying through his students and stuff, and he's talking about them, that right there goes along with this arc. So, very good stuff. I love what the production team did to this episode and how they handled these chapters that they animated. They definitely did a lot of good work when it came to this episode, and I know manga reader fans, just as myself, are probably going to be very happy with whatever they do next. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about what happened in this week's episode? How do you feel about Koro-sensei's past, and how the person he actually started to care about and love died in front of him, in his arms? How do you feel about that? I mean, he always spent his entire time learning to become powerful, destroy, kill things, but he actually never took the time to figure out how to heal somebody, which that came to the conclusion in this episode with the death of E-Class's original teacher. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. How do you feel about the death scene? How do you feel about how he changed his outward appearance? How do you feel about the music? How do you feel about the adaptation? How do you feel about the past of Koro-sensei? What route do you think, Assassination Classroom is going to take? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.